Hi, everyone. Thanks to those of you that are watching. This one, I'm just going to title it Watch Me Work. And if you have any questions, remember to look at what the timestamp is, and you can ask me all about them. I've chosen one in color, and I've chosen one in black and white. I normally move them off to the side and trace and detach as I've shown you in other ones. And you can do that as well to make sure you're getting a good trace out of it. But for these two, I'm just going to trace them on this white mat that I wish I could change it to a different color. So let's go ahead and get started. To trace color is no different from black and white. The one thing that you want to do is to find a good image. Now you're going to forever have this yellow triangle over there. If you hover over it, it lets you know that you need a higher resolution if you want to print, do a print and cut project on this. But I look around the mouth to see if there's any gaps. I look around the eyes to see if there's any gaps. And let's see if this works for me. No, it still isn't. When I click on this, I'm supposed to, oh, okay. All right, zoom in. So what I'm looking for is to make sure that there are black lines all around what I want to use as a piece that I'm going to be cutting out. There is a black line that you cannot see that's around this part of the bow, but it is there. Usually if you're going to find a gap, it's going to be around the eyes, or it's going to be around the nose, or it's going to be like the finger tips. And there are ways to fix it if it's an image that you just can't live without. And I will show you later on, but there are some videos that's in our video section that already shows you how to do it. But that's what you want to look for. Make sure that there are black lines. They don't have necessarily be as thick as these are, but you want to make sure there's no gaps, because if there are gaps in it, it's like pouring paint in a bucket that has some holes in it. Is not going to accept color, which means that you're not going to be able to cut it using vinyl, either the regular vinyl that you're going to put on a cup or a glass or a chair or whatever, or heat transfer vinyl that you're going to put on a t-shirt. So let's go back to where she was, and it's one of these. I think this is it. Fit to window. There we go. There we go. And so I'm going to move this one over to the side because I'm going to do both of them. This is the black and white. You see the white around it. Again, I've shown you how to do trace and attach, but we're going to trace it right on this. So what I'm looking for is around the fingers. So let's see. Oh, I think I had to fold it. Yes, I have to drag it down. So I'm looking around the hand to see there's a line that's there. I think we'll be okay with it, but that's what you want to look for until you learn how to um, um, repair images that are not perfect and they're low resolution. Just kind of stay away from them for now. The let's see, the eyelash here doesn't look like it's black. The line is thick enough, but we shall see. Everything else looks good. We're not really worried about these little I guess you would call them um uh, curve marks in her bow, because the bow itself has a black line all around it. So the bow is going to be one color on the right side, color on the left side, and then a different color in the middle, if that's what you choose. And you see here that the line is not as thick, but we will see what we're working with. So here, this is the area we're going to look at to make sure we can get it as yellow as possible. We're going to hope that we can get this eyelash in. And I think everything else looks good. You can see some of the blurriness in the line there, but I think that those are going to be all right as well. The other thing that you want to look for is what needs to be removed, and that's this white area here and this white area here. There's a little bit of a space there, but I think that's what forms the shape of her elbow, so I wouldn't worry about it. But you've got the white that you need to get rid of here. I think this shapes her leg, so you don't have to worry about it. So let's go back to the regular size on this. So she's a little bit bigger. She's probably going to have a little bit more work. So let's start with this one. And you don't have to resize it. Again, it's just a quirkiness of me. I like to resize my things. And so now we're going to select trace and select the trace area. And I like to go outside when I draw my box around it. So let's see, yellow all around. Oh, I know one thing that I forgot to do, and that is I like to duplicate it. I just like having another copy so I can kind of see what I'm working with. That's another one of my quirkiness. You don't have to do that. So we'll go with select area. And everything looks, that's kind of skinny in there. So instead of 45, let's see what 48 looks like. It's like it closed it a little bit more. And I'm only talking about this little area here and this little area, which is where I guess a pupil is. So I'm going to go up to 50. Okay. And so I'm satisfied with that, and I'm going to say trace. And what it does is it traced it. So I'm going to delete my big one there. This is what we want to kind of look at to make sure that we've got this going the way that we want it to look. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to select it, right click on it, and you want to release the compound path, which is releasing all of these pieces. And this is going to give you a good idea of how many cut pieces you're going to have. You see all of those squares and rectangles all around them. Those are individual pieces that you're going to be cutting. But I will show you how to group the same color together. But that's what those boxes are. So we're going to click off of it, and now we're just going to start, with our colors. So let's see, I don't need the trace panel anymore. I'm going to need the fill that I call the color palette. Okay, so I'm going to click on the one area of the bow, and where's my dropper? I'm going to use that dropper to get that color of it. Now it shows up in my recently used, and I'm going to click on the other side. I don't have to use the dropper because it's in the recently used. I could have done both of them at the same time, but I'm just going to go a little bit slower for those of you that are new. So let's see. We have this piece here and this piece of the band. And I'm going to make white is not going to show on white, so I'm going to make it gray for now, and then I'll turn it white. So let's click the little pupil, gray, and it's selected and it's close to the eye just like the picture is, but I'm going to use my left arrow, move it over a little bit for when it cuts so it doesn't cut both of them together. You see the little bit of space I put? So let me do the same for this one too. Move it over down a little bit. Okay. So let's see what else we need to do. Her tongue, we need to use that dropper tool so we can get the exact color of her tongue. Now keep in mind that whoever drew this mini wanted the fuchsia or the hot pink bow. But these colors, coloring them is just your way of verifying that they are going to cut properly. You might have blue vinyl, or you might have a special pattern vinyl or something. So you don't have to go with these colors. It's not going to cut in pink if you've got yellow on your mat that you're going to be running through your cameo. So this is just to verify if it takes color. If it does not take color, then there's a gap somewhere and it will need to be repaired. So let's grab the eye. We've got that colored. The nose. I think we are okay. I'm gonna put this black part of the nose. I'm gonna put it in like a yellow to remind me, because I need it to it's instead of having the black bottom layer and then this face layer, which is layer number 2, and then another black piece for the nose, that's layer number 3. I'm going to cut the nose section away from the face so that the bottom layer is what's going to show for black. Hope I didn't confuse anyone, but you can follow along with me. So I'm going to do the same thing for the mouth. So I'm going to use yellow. I like to pick a different color because it just is a reminder to me that I forgot to do something. So now let's grab the face, the dropper, so we can get the color of Minnie. So I think we have everything we need. And now I'm going to color the bottom layer, the first layer only, and I'm going to make it black. And see how she sort of comes to life at that point. Now I can go back and I'm just going to click one of these, hold the shift key down, try to get the other one, and I'll color both of them white. And I'm going to do the same for the pupil. I could do them individually, but I'm going to try to do, did I get both? Let's see if I got both. Yes, I did. See if I can get both of them. And this I'm going to make white as well. And let's see, now we need to start subtracting some stuff. Again, to avoid having too many layers which become bulky, you want to try to let this black layer to be shown through where I have the yellow. So let's click on the face only. Got that. Hold the shift key down, and I'm going to try to click on the nose. I'm going to right click and make a compound path. And what happened is it did what I wanted, but you notice it got rid of the mouth. So the way it gets your mouth back is, I think, send backward, since it's a different color than black. So let's see, send back, there, we got that. The tongue, send backward again. There we go. So now that we have that the face still selected, I'm going to hold the shift key down and I'm going to click on the yellow and right click and make a compound path. And there we go. So now it looks the same. Now these are all individual pieces that's there. So I'm going to drag a box over it and group it together. So that is in essence how you do the color image. So don't be intimidated by color. Color is better actually than I think that some black and white. So now just watch me with this. You're not going to hear sound unless I run into a problem or I think it's going to be a potential problem for you. Then you'll hear me speak. And I'm just making this bigger because my machine probably is gonna just chew it all up. That's that little skinny band that is on her dress. I forgot to leave all of the colors the same that I'm gonna have to work on a little bit. Okay. and I'm hitting the delete key. These are too small pieces to be trying to cut. I think this defines the elbow. So my goal here is to stretch it without it touching the yellow. And I've got a lot of boxes that I can play with, but I don't need it touching a line. And it's just again to define the elbow. This piece is awfully small, but if you are a perfectionist and you want to cut this, the machine to cut this little piece, then you need to make it bigger. Just don't let it overlap. And just so that I don't forget it, I'm gonna be um, making it a different color here. Okay, so now let's go back to the regular size. Yeah, you see where this one is. I wonder if I could just make that bigger. Nope, it wants to make whatever is on the mat, but that defines the leg. And the other one I told you is very small, as you can see, defines the elbow. So I'm going to start with my coloring of now. Now I'm zooming in just so that I can be able to get this little tiny piece here, um, that if I was going to be using this, I probably would make this a whole lot bigger. And you can use this, put your mouse over the little green part there and turn it around just to make it fit. Um, let's see. No, let's go back to regular. I think oh, okay. She doesn't look like much now, but I'm going to click on the back piece the bottom layer, and I'm going to make it black and she should come alive. I think I've colored everything. Yes. So she comes alive a whole lot more. So now with the back bottom piece selected, I'm going to hold the shift key down and click on this yellow. I'm going to right click and make compound path. And what it does is it brought it to the front. So while it's selected, I'm going to send it to the back. Sometimes you just go backward. I recommend that than to just automatic send to the back. So let's see, with it selected, I'm gonna hold the shift key down, get that little piece and make it a compound path. Right click, send backward. Well, let's just send to the back. Let's see, there you go. It still selects it. I'm going to hold the shift key down in the yellow. I'm going to make a compound path, did the same thing again and send to the back. That's these pieces here that you don't want to have the white to show through. So now that I've got all of that, I'm going to go ahead and where's my white? Make these things white. Okay, so I have that. There's an brow part here, and I'm going to make it yellow. And it's awfully skinny as well. So you might want to make it a little bit thicker by maneuvering these little squares that you have. So what's happening now is I've clicked off of it. I can click anything black that was black in the original to get to the bottom layer. But the mouth and the nose is attached to the face. It's not attached to the back layer. So I'm going to click off of it. Well, let me make the eyes white. Okay. So I'm going to click on the face now. I've got the face. It seemed like it was two parts to this face. We'll find out in a minute. I'm going to hold the shift key down and I'm going to click on the yellow of the mouth. I'm going to right click and make compound path. Now the mouth comes through. Now what's happening is, let me click off of it and bring this out to you. You see the cutoff of the mouth? The mouth, that's what's going on. And I was saying that this was attached to it. So let me go back, put that there. It's a second piece. I don't recommend grouping it with the other part of the face just yet, because it might get you stuck out there with trying to get the eyelash to come through in the nose. So we're going to say click on the face, hold the shift key down and click on the nose. Right click and make compound path. Now the nose is cut out. And so what this does is it saves you some vinyl and it saves bulkiness. Back here. Okay. So this, let me zoom in. Helps out a lot. I want this piece here. I want the black underneath it to show. So I'm going to select it. I'm holding the shift key down and this part of the face. And let's see if it lets us make. There you go. So when we pull the face out, now we even have the eyelash that's in there that's going to take on the color of the bottom piece. Now that we have the face, that part of the face selected, I'll hold the shift key down, click the other part of the face, and I'll select group. And now let's go back to the regular screen with it. In this part here, for some reason, I was unable to click on it. I'll show you. I've selected it. I'm holding the shift key down. I'm going to click on the black ear. Just click on something that was black in the original in order to get to the bottom layer. So now I'm going to right click. I'm going to right click and make compound path and see, well, this part turned white, but I'm going to right click and say send to the back, and it still remained white. So I could not figure out why it would not, this part here would not turn black. So I'm just going to go back to the way it was. And this is going to be the color black. So you are going to have a little bit of a bulk because you're going to have the black layer on the bottom, and you're going to have this black layer, black piece on the top. And wait a minute, looks like her face, can you see in there that it did not clear everything out? Oh, let's go there. You notice that it didn't? This piece should have highlighted it. There we go. So I'm just going to make that yellow so you can see that that did not come out the way it was supposed to be. And even with this, I should have brought it down more and let it touch the top of her eye. So you've got a little bit of a gap that's there. But we're going to fix this. So it's selected, hold the shift key down, and we're going to select the face, right click, make compound path, right click, send to the back, send to the back, send to back layer. Nope. And I think the reason that this is happening is because, as I said before, undo, is the fact that I grouped this part of the face to that part of the face. So I'm going to, it's grouped together. I'm going to right click and ungroup it. Then that way I'm only dealing with part of this face that this part is connected to. Now you see what happened. So now that we've got it right, finally, and it's half of part of the face is highlighted, hold the shift key down, click the other part of the face, and go up here and click group. So now that it's one. Come on. So that is our little Minnie Mouse that we have. If you have any questions, be sure and post them under this image so that I can respond to you, or Sheila can, or one of the moderators. Thank you for watching.